Hi everyone, this is Beth with Flying by the Seat of My Plants, and today I just did a video on the potting, planting potatoes in the grow bags, and so now I went ahead and just did a quick, I'm doing a quick video on maintaining your garden. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I am going to be cutting the leaves off, or the branches off of this tomato. This is the climbing triple crop, and right here, if you could see it on there, this is actually a sucker. So, and these are all the lower leaves that I'm going to take off, but I wanted to show you, and I know some of you are probably saying, take those scissors away from her. But you want to do this on the lower leaves. This here is that sucker right here, and those grow like in the armpit. So I'm going to remove that one, and I'm also going to take away that one. And here I'm already starting to get some flowers, if you can see that. Can't tell if you could see it or not, but there's some flowers there, and right now that's all I'm going to cut it to. And when I water it, I just water down here at the very base of the tomato plant. So right here, that's where I water, because you want the least amount of water to splash up. So that's the whole point of that. And this already formed like a Y, and I think this is the main stem, but just in case, I'm going to leave this on there. So, but I wanted to show you what I meant as your tomatoes are growing, to be trimming back those leaves. So, okay, so I'm going to show you more what I'm doing in the in-ground with my tomato plants, and I want to show you a tool that I absolutely love. It's my favorite weeding tool. It's, I don't know, I think they call it the saddle hoe. I don't know. But this used to belong to my dad, and so I have it now, so this thing is over 40 years old. But this is what I use to weed. And I know I just tilled, but the weeds I noticed are starting to come up. And one way to keep the weeds down for me is I just water where my plants are. And so I'm not watering the whole garden in my in-ground because I just don't want to promote the weeds. So right now I was going through, I put down some sweet peat, which I'll show you, and that's kind of like a really good organic mulch, and it will decompose into the soil, but I put it all around my tomatoes. That will help keep it more moist, especially right now we're going through a very dry period here in Northeast Ohio. But you know, I know a lot of people hate to weed, and the secret to weeding is to get them when they're so tiny. Like, I'm going to go ahead and weed right now, and that's going to suppress them again for probably another couple of weeks, and eventually there just won't be any weeds, and I'll be done by July. I won't be doing any weeding. So and while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and prune the bottom of those tomatoes. So there's this tomato plant, and you can see right here that that is laying on the ground, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to trim it. And I'm also going to take that one off. And the whole thing is to keep those leaves off of the ground. So, you know, it's one thing you just want to keep up with your tomatoes. Take that off. So when I water, it's going to have the least amount of splashback. And I'm not hurting them. They're going to keep right on growing. And so as I see any leaves that are touching the ground, and I'll continue to do that until most of them are about 1.5 to 2 feet off the ground. So I wanted to show that. And also about keeping up the weeds. Do it when they're just starting. If you wait until they get really big. You're just going to be dealing with bigger roots and a bigger problem. So, wanted to share that. Okay, so there's the pile of leaves, and pretty much trimmed all of them. I'll have to come out, and when they grow a little bit more, I will be cutting some more bottom branches. And all the dark on there, that is the sweet peat. And my cousin made me this thing. It's called an opsalic, I believe. But anyhow, it's like 7 foot high. But see how it's darker here? I put potting soil, and I planted sunflower zinnias. And wherever I planted seed, I put a pile of potting mix, just so that I know not to weed there until I know what's coming up, and to make sure I water all those spots. So, if that helps anyone. So, tomatoes look really good. And let me show you. I know you guys are going to think I stripped them, but here, let me show you the bed over there. You could see how much I trimmed those tomatoes in that bed. So it's trust me, it makes them healthy. It helps them keep them from the blight, and so that's why I did that. And okay, so that took about maybe a half hour of my time. So those are all caught up. So wanted to share that with you. So anyhow, thank you for joining me, and I just wanted to share that with you. Especially new gardeners, you know, when I was younger, if I would have known, if somebody would have told me, you know, weed when they're just little seedlings, it would have made my life so much easier all those years ago. And I just learned that through the years. But anyhow, okay, so that's done. It only took about, you know, a half hour, maybe another half hour, when adding the sweet peat to the garden. And so thank you for watching, and thanks for all the returning subscribers. And if you're new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit the like button, and I will talk to you on the next one. All right, bye.